Hey everybody, Sean here from Spoken Garden. Wanted to go over some quick bulb planting tips with you today. It's super easy, you can do it too, and so we're just going to go over how we do it every fall. And so first you want to get out to your area, you want to make sure you're planting your bulbs in the right spot with the right sun exposure and in the right soil. Right here we're in a partial shade, partial sun area. You can see we have our bed, we haven't prepped it or anything, so I'm just going to go over with you real quick and show you what we do. So before you plant any of your bulbs, you want to make sure that you've got the right tools. And what we've got here is I've got a small rake in my hand for small areas, and then over here I've got my regular large rake, hard rake, fan rake, and then a shovel for the digging. So make sure you got your tools. Gloves are awesome. I'm going to use my little hand rake, and I'm just going to clear away the mulch to expose the soil. We're going to rake down until we get to that soil level. And I'm just going to move all this mulch out of the way. I'm going to get it away from some of our perennials. We got a blanket flower here, we got some sage, we got a primrose. These do really well out here in the Pacific Northwest, and they tend to stick around all year, so we just keep them right where they're at. We're not even going to dig them out. Just the bulbs that we have are about the same size, and they have the same planting space. The daffodils and tulips, they're going to need to be placed about 5 to 6 inches apart and about 6 to 8 inches down. So after you've got your bulbs, you know your planting depth and planting spacing, you want to actually get your bulbs out of their package. And what we have here is we've got our bulbs out of the package. These are daffodils, and these are from Eden Brothers, who we're affiliates for, full disclosure. And you'll be able to find these bulbs and other ones on our shop page. You'll be able to find these exact ones. These are trumpet and large cut mix daffodils. They're beautiful. And that link will be on our shop page for you to find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these up. The spacing on these is 5 inches between each bulb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out, I'm going to place them, and I'm just going to put them right on the soil, and I'm just going to start placing them out here and get a sense of the area of how many I can actually fit in this area. Some people will be able to go through and they'll know exactly how many they can put in a specific area because they'll have all their measurements down. For us, we're just kind of eyeballing it, and sometimes that's the best way to do it. It's the most fun. If you haven't listened to some of our podcasts, you need to know that bulbs planted in multiples, in odd numbers, their groupings is more eye-appealing than in even numbers. So 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s, those are more eye-appealing. When bulbs come up and they flower, that number just resonates with the human mind. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. We're going to go with probably about 3 to 5 bulbs together in this space. Because you can see we've got these daffodils set out here. We're going to mix those in with some of the tulips that we have too. What we have here is we have tulip royal acres, and then we have, I can't read it upside down, charming beauty. And so both of these, there's 2 different colors for tulips. We're going to mix these in with the daffodils. So when the daffodils come up first, they'll be first and foremost, front and center, and then we'll also have the tulips, and they'll come up afterwards, later on in the spring, and these will be mixed, and you'll see 2 different colors. It'll be beautiful. So that's our plan. So here we've got a daffodil bulb, and we got a tulip bulb. You can kind of see their difference there. One's a little bit smoother and less papery than the other. Kind of see that. Pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you that. Now remember, when you're doing this, you got to do every 5 inches. I'm just eyeballing it because I've done this quite a few times, but if you're not sure, make sure that you are measuring with a yardstick or something, because if they get too close, they'll shade each other out, they'll get in competition for nutrients, and you don't want to do that because that'll stress them out. And you can tell I'm placing these up with the pointy tip up, and that's because that is where the new shoot's going to come up out of on a bulb. On the base, you can't see it on these, but that's where the roots are going to be down below on it. So I'm placing them as I'm going to plant them. Now the daffodil, you can see there's some old roots right there on the base, and there's the tip. So again, I'm placing them as I'm going to plant them with the tip up. It just helps me orient them right when I'm starting to do this. Now usually daffodils are more poisonous than tulips. Tulips aren't as poisonous. They're not known to be poisonous to animals. So between the daffodils and the tulips, the daffs are going to come back year after year. But so will the tulips if the squirrels and the rabbits and the deer don't get them. So something to keep in mind is once you plant these, what deterrents can you use to keep the critters and wildlife away from these so they keep coming back from year to year. So to plant these bulbs, what we wanted to do is we wanted to try out a new tool, and we're really excited about it. It's called a planting auger, and we got this on Amazon. It came really fast. It's the Power Planter. It's a bulb and bedding plant auger, and it comes in this neat little box. It goes with a drill, so of course, you know, I'm a guy, I like power tools, so this is going to be fun. I get to plant the bulbs and use my power tools with the new toy. So we're going to try this out. So I'm just going to stick this in the drill, tighten it down. Let's try this out. Are we in forward? Yep. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Wow. Woohoo! Look at that thing go. Okay. So let's try this out. We're going to come over your bulb. We're going to plant right down here. Now, we're supposed to go down 6 to 8 inches on these. Almost looks like about 6 inches. So we're going to need to go down a little bit further than this, possibly, into the ground. So here we go. So you can tell when I went down, it kind of jiggled around a little bit, and it gave me a little kickback. It's all the rocks. We live in a rocky area, and so, but this went down fairly easy. Just a little bit of steadying. And then taking the bulb, you can see it. I got it in the right orientation here. Bottom, top. The tip is the top. On this bulb is a true bulb. It's a tulip. Now I'm just going to set it down in the hole. Here we go. Setting it down in there. Nice and fluffy soil. I like that. This auger is really cool. So now I'm just going to take my hands and I'm just going to fill the hole. There you go. That's all there is to it. Filled that hole, got our depths, done. Now we got all these other guys around here. So now I'm going to move this guy out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing. That was interesting. So here we go. So I'm going to take this, put this guy down in there, bury it. We're just going to keep doing that until we get all of these planted. So, pretty fun, right? Neat little tool. Okay, so here we go. So everybody, we planted all our bulbs, and we're getting ready just to cover everything back up with all the mulch that we moved out of the way as one of our steps. Just to reiterate, we use this bulb planting auger. In this on our shop page, if you want to look at it too, spokengarden.com/shop, and also the bulbs, they'll be there on the shop page too. So if you want to find out more, that's where you need to go. And so we'll cover this up with the mulch. We're not going to water anything right now because this is a little bit different than planting perennials in that these don't need any further watering or fertilizer, any special treatment. Mother Nature take over in the spring, so we don't have to do anything. When you're planting, as in contrast, when you're planting perennials, what you need to do is you'll need to dig the holes a lot bigger, twice as wide as deep. You'll need to burn the holes, and you'll also need to water the hole before you plant and water the plant in its hole. And so that's a little bit different. So just want to let you know that. So okay, we're all planted up. Everything's in the ground, spaced out evenly, down to the right depth. Now we just need to cover this area, recover it with the mulch we moved at the beginning. So I'm just going to move this back into this area with my little rake. Moving everything back in that we moved out of the way before. Bring it all back in. Don't worry if there's soil mixed in with your mulch. That'll all dissipate with the rains or any precipitation. Gravity will take that and take it down below, just revealing still all your mulch. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. So something to keep in mind when you're digging your holes too is to remember that the mulch adds depth to your hole, whether you know it or not. So when this goes over, you want to make sure you anticipate that depth over the bulb when you're digging the hole for that total depth. Otherwise, you could go far too deep and you won't see the bulb ever. It'll just rot. So something to think about. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Email us at SeanandAllison@spokengarden.com. Until then, see you in the garden.